Okay, ladies, well, we're going to go ahead and begin. There might be several more people popping on. So welcome to your Zoom Yin class tonight on this beautiful sunny Thursday. So happy to be with you all. So we'll start in our traditional reclined Supta Baddha Konasana. So I recommend, been lighting candles during my classes and kind of starting little fires here and there, forgetting about them. So lay down on your bed pillows. I recommend 2 bed pillows behind your back. And then I like a folded up blanket to put underneath my head. So my head is a little bit higher up than my chest. And then once you lay down, bring the soles of your feet together and bring your knees out wide like a diamond. And if once you lay down, you feel like you need more props, go ahead and get them. You won't really know unless you've done this at home before or until you try it now. Get as comfortable and supported as you possibly can here in this first pose tonight. There's actually a lot more to work with in the space of your home versus in the studio. Love all the sun shining in on your guys' faces tonight. Good, Tanner. And once you feel like you've become settled, you have the props that you need, your space is set. Take a couple deep breaths in through your nose and out your mouth. Take 2 or 3, maybe even 4 tonight. Conscious cleansing breaths, a great way to just clear away, to drop into this yoga practice tonight, here together from afar. And then once you've taken some cleansing breaths, you can just let your breath fall away altogether with. Or you can choose to create a soft ujjayi, or maybe continuing to breathe out through your mouth. Maybe on the exhale, maybe on the inhale too. Tonight's intention is to nurture your body through this practice, to really nourish, to fill, and also to empty and give up what you must, what you need to. We really need to be mindful of what we bring into our body, into our mind, whether it's food or information. So being mindful, welcome Joyce, of the inflow of what's coming in. And then also matching that, with what you need to let go of, what you need to release. Being mindful of allowing and giving yourself permission and time for your outlets to let energy be released. It's like I think of my daughter, or like a or like a puppy. She's kind of like a puppy in a lot of ways. But they need an outlet for energy, right? They need to get out and move and run and breathe in order to be calm later, in order to be able to listen And so this can fill you up as well as release energy. And it really depends on what you need. It might be both, and it might be more of you need to be filled, or it might be more of I need to be emptied through this practice. And so just trust that you'll get exactly what you need tonight from this practice. Now bring your awareness to your breath, no matter what you're doing with your breath. If you're manipulating it in some way, where you're just letting your breath breathe you, put your attention on one thing, your breath. And notice the space in between your inhale and exhale. Maybe pause at the top of your in-breath, hold your breath for a moment, or just notice the kind of like the peak of your inhale, and then when it falls into your exhale and you start to breathe out, just notice the transition between those 2 points. And then after your exhale, after you're empty, notice the space before your breath draws in. The cycle of your breath. It's really 4 parts. Inhale, space, exhale, space. And now from this awareness of your breath, start to relax the muscles of your face, upper body, chest, back. The physical intention of yin is to relax the muscles and to go deeper into the body, into the physical body. Through the release of your muscles, really allow your body to be heavy, to kind of like melt into your mat. And then imagine like your mind is a muscle. Relax the mind through the awareness of your body. Be aware of thoughts. But allow yourself to not attach to them. This is very much a meditative practice, and so it's not about not thinking, it's simply about becoming increasingly aware of what's going on right here in this moment. Breath is the bridge that connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. Whenever your mind becomes scattered, use your breath as the means to take hold of your mind again. The breath giving you access to peace within your mind. Notice that your abdomen, your lower mid-back, pelvis, legs, feet. Notice any holding patterns and be willing to give up holding, grasping, clutching onto. Set the muscles of your legs free. Now draw a nice full deep breath into the whole back of both lungs. Feel your upper back press into the mat. Come to the precipice of your inhale. Open your mouth, release it out. Make a little noise, H-A, ha. Come to the bottom of your exhale. And then take your next breath and fill up. Maximum capacity, like 360-degree filling. Keep filling till you can't bring any more air in, and then pause there. Little stall at the top. Release it out through your mouth. Get empty Empty, empty, and then pause at the base of your breath. Linger here. See if you can kind of savor the emptiness. And then when you need to take your next breath in, you do that. Let it be luxurious. Let it be joyful and open. Now assist your knees together with your hands. Bring your feet wide onto your mat. So knees in, feet wide. Rest in this resting pose. The idea is there's no stress on your body here. You're simply left to be in the full experience of the after effects of supine butterfly. From hips open to now hips closed. Feel whatever you're feeling move through your body. You might feel it as like a whole, like a wholeness, sensation through the whole body. Maybe it's more centralized through the pelvis and hips. And this is where you can get a sense of the energy of this practice beyond the physicality of it. You can actually begin to feel your life force, your chi, your prana move through you. So just be an open vessel here to sensation. Not judging how you feel or wondering if it's the right feeling. Relax your shoulders down. Soften through your jaw. Tendency a lot to hold a lot of tension in the jaw. So I recommend separating your teeth and allowing your tongue to kind of fall back into your mouth, into your throat. And then soften the skin and the muscles around your jaw. And now shift your body onto your left side into a fetal position. Get real comfy here. You're not going to be here for a really long time, but I recommend snuggling up with a bed pillow in between your arms on your chest or in between your legs is my favorite. Getting real comfy here. This is a restorative position. Allows your heart to beat the most efficiently here on the left. And hone in here. Notice the shell of your being, your skin, the largest organ in your body. Notice your clothes on your skin. Maybe the temperature of the air on your skin, or if you're getting any sunshine on you. Allow your eyelids to be real soft on your eyeballs. Gently resting, not squeezing or forcing. And now here, very gently and real slow, start to shift your body up into a seated position to begin. And the next shape you will come into is dragonfly. So basically it's a seated straddle. I already have a blanket, a folded up blanket underneath my glutes. I do recommend that. And then just bring it behind you and then scoot your hips back. So your heels are nice and padded. If you're on your carpet, it doesn't really matter. And you want a little bit of a lift through your hips. And this will help shift your pelvis forward versus back. And then the degree at which your legs are wide is really up to you. I recommend starting more narrow and then knowing that you can grow as the minutes pass. And then before you hinge forward, just lengthen through your spine. Now you can bring your hands out wide. You can press through your fingertips even and just create some space and some length first. And then from there, you can start to shift forward, or you can stay shoulders over hips. Coming down onto your forearms will work. You can drop your chin towards your chest, which is my preference. You can also grab your pillows and you can bring them underneath you as well. Whether they're might be long-wise in line with your spine, maybe you fold them under a little bit. And then come down as far as you want, knowing that there's always time to deepen into the posture. Right, we hold these poses for much longer than we do in the yang practice, because our connective tissue really requires the time in order to be stressed and stretched. Doesn't respond, that more plasticky tissue does not respond to quick rhythmic movements. So you set the shape up, and then you bring the appropriate load or pressure or weight. It's just beyond the Goldilocks spot. You don't want it to be too comfy. You want to be a little bit beyond that. I like to call it juicy discomfort or comfortably uncomfortable. And then you give it some time. Really requires patience. Yeah. Settle into your breath. Practice patience by practicing awareness of each breath you take. And rather than just like breathing and pay attention to your breath. Be curious about your breath. Be like real interested. And perhaps grateful and appreciative of. Patience for me is something that I've always felt like I haven't really had or been able to exhibit or practice patience. And it's actually a word that's been coming up a lot for me lately. Being patient with the process of the days unfolding, not knowing what's coming next or when it's coming, and really like that always holds true, not just now. So you, the person on your mat, you be patient through this pose. Give yourself that gift. Be patient with your thoughts if they're flooding your space. Be patient with your body as it's beginning to unfold and open. Now draw a deep kumbhaka breath into your lungs. Fill up your whole back body. That's where most of your lung capacity is. Keep breathing in, keep breathing in. Open your mouth and release it all out, slowly emptying. Keep emptying until there's no more air, and then linger in this space of nothingness. Draw another deep breath in. Fill all the way up, all 5 lobes of your lungs. Keep filling. See if you can sip in a little bit more air at the top, and then hold. Let it flow out of you slowly. Maybe pull your belly button in and empty out that last little bit. Practice the pause right here, the space of your own home. Empty. And then just trust and believe here. Your breath is there waiting for you when you need to take it. And take several of those automatic breaths in before shifting out of this shape. And when you feel inclined, you can start to shift your shoulders back over your hips. I like to assist my knees together with my hands versus using my leg muscles that you guys have practiced relaxing those for the last 20 or so minutes. And if you want, you can bring your knees side to side, taking a little windshield wiper. You could roll your ankles or just let your head kind of fall back, shake it out. And then start to make your way onto your back. Flat on your back, unless you feel like you want a little lift, feet wide, knees together, and come back into that resting pose. Yeah, so lay down, feet wide, knees together, support underneath your head if you want it, but you want to make sure your head isn't too lifted. And then give yourself permission to practice receiving here, to be filled. To receive is to take in, to be filled up, to be nourished by. Rest the bones of your body onto your mat, like into the earth. Allow yourself to be grounded. Tap into sensation. And if we're not present and not aware, we'll miss this part. We'll miss the impact of the previous pose. And just like anything, it takes practice to really keenly feel the little nuances, the little bits of energy moving through us. It takes time and patience. If you feel your mind taking over, just shift back to the awareness of your breath in addition to your body awareness. And now re-snuggle back up onto your left side. Press yourself up and come onto your hands and your knees. And just take some gentle movements here. So I like a good hip sway. You might take around a cat and cow, or maybe some head rolls, maybe head and hip rolls. If you feel like a down dog would feel good, you can take that. It's a little bit of movement before we settle into the next shape here. And I'll give you a couple different options for this next pose. So you can either come into a traditional child's pose, which is knees wide, toes together, or you can bring your knees together and then bring your hands alongside your legs and bring your head down. So that position will be, the target area will be more into the rounding of your spine. And then if you bring your knees open, that'll bring more of an opening through your hips. And then it's actually less of a rounding through your spine and more of a kind of like a forward fold action. And then whatever position you took with your lower body, relax through the joints of your elbows and your wrists. So you're taking this into more of a yin pose versus a yang, strong, strengthening the muscles pose. Another thing you can do too is you can have something supporting underneath your chest. I really like something firmer underneath my heart to feel a sense of earth to heart, heart to earth. It's really grounding. Soften your outer shell, your skin, and then move in from there. Like create a ripple effect of softening and surrendering. You can build up really thick layers of tension and protection and defense. And so right here is an opportunity to like shed your armor. To shift from surviving to thriving. To shift from protecting to surrendering. All things that can bubble up anytime. And yeah, now might be feel more present. Let your mantra be, I soften and surrender. Maybe on your inhale, it's I soften. And on your exhale, it's I surrender. And really, it's a softening and surrender to what is, to life as we know it. Oftentimes, it's easier to be soft and to surrender when things are going the way we want, and things are going the way we're used to. Much more challenging when things are unpredictable. And we're living our days out in ways that we have never done before. And so around that, there's a sense of gentleness with yourself and your mind and your body. We've never had to do what we're doing ever before. So to really step into that place of compassion, kindness, understanding can be really what we're asking for. Like the depths of our being, we're really requesting ourselves to treat ourselves like that and others. Draw a deep breath in through your nose. Fill your whole back body up. Keep filling up. Pause. Open your mouth, release it out, exhale. Meet the base of your breath. Pause for just a moment and then start to fill up slowly. From nothing to full expansion. Keep filling in, like breathe in your whole life right here in this breath. Meet the top. And then when you need to, follow it out. Create your own cadence. I can't hear your breath, but you can. Empty completely and then hold on to it. See if you can hold for 3 counts. You count. If anxiety is coming up, you just take a breath, no big deal. And now start to shift your way onto your front body. So you can lift up into hands and knees, or you can just slither forward onto your belly. You can either cross your arms and rest one cheek, it's called crocodile, or you can just bring your arms alongside you and take a belly shavasana. Yeah, if you're getting chilled, put some more layers on or cover yourself. If it's not comfortable to lay flat on your belly, slide a pillow underneath your ankles, and that'll help relieve some low back pressure. Now this is your counter pose, your opportunity to experience the after effects of Balasana, child's pose. Observe your energy, your chi moving through you. And for me, it's like a swell initially, like a wave coming to its peak. It's a swell of sensation. And then it starts to dissipate as time progresses. Your chi was constricted in your pelvis and your hip creases during the pose, and now it's set free, it centralizes. You might even notice the beat of your heart, the whisper of air in your lungs. Just feel it out. Breathe it out. And now from here, you'll come into half frog. So what you'll do is you'll bring your right knee up towards your right armpit. So you'll have like one froggy leg. I don't know if you guys can see me. Maybe like that's a little better. So right knee is bent, and you can bring your right knee in line with your right hip crease, maybe a little higher like mine is. And then your left leg is nice and long and straight. And then you can rest, if you came up on your forearms like I did, you can rest your chest on the floor. You can cross your arms and lay your head on your arms. Or again, just flat on your chest, arms alongside you. You can look to the right, or you can choose to look the opposite direction and get a little bit of a twist through your cervical spine as well. Good. Can't see all of you, but I trust you're in position if you're not looking at me. Take a couple moments here to just fully nestle into your pose. Target area here is your right groin, maybe even the outside of your right hip. I have a reading I'd like to share from Mark Nepo. He has a book called The Book of Awakening. Every crack is also an opening. This reading is called The Chick Being Born. When in the midst of great change, it is helpful to remember how a chick is born. From the view of the chick, it is a terrifying struggle. Confined and curled in a dark shell, half formed, the chick eats all its food and stretches to the contours of its shell. It begins to feel hungry and cramped. Eventually, the chick begins to starve and feel suffocated by the ever-shrinking space of its world. Finally, its own growth begins to crack the shell, and the world as the chick knows it is coming to an end. Its sky is falling. As the chick wriggles through the cracks, it begins to eat its shell. In that moment, growing but fragile, starving and cramped, its world breaking, the chick must feel like it is dying. Yet once everything it has relied on falls away, the chick is born. It doesn't die, but falls into the world. The lesson is profound. Transformation always involves the falling away of things we have relied on. And we are left with a feeling that the world as we know it is coming to an end, because it is. Yet the chick offers us the wisdom that the way to be born while still alive is to eat our own shell. When faced with great change in self and relationship, in our sense of calling, we somehow must take in all that has enclosed us, nurtured us, incubated us. So when the new life is upon us, the old is within us. Now from this half frog, you're going to come into a spinal twist. So you're going to move onto your left side body. You're going to thread your left arm underneath your body, roll onto your left hip and onto your back slightly, and then open up into your traditional spinal twist. Just a different way of getting there. So right knee is crossed over your body. You can choose to look to the left to create a twist through the cervical spine as well. Open your heart and chest up to the sky. And let the light in. You know, we all have little cracks. We have some heartbreak. And just consider it's where the light can come in. It's where growth occurs. Breathe in transformation. Draw a deep, full breath in, like into the earth, the root of your body. Keep filling, keep filling. Pause. Slow release. Exhale out all of your air. Get real empty. Pause. New breath. New life. In. Keep filling. Keep opening. Keep expanding. Pause. Exhale. Follow your breath out until there's no air left. And then linger, empty. Take a breath in whenever you need to. And be in the experience of a couple automatic, maybe soft and easy breaths. And then exit out of this pose by rolling back onto your navel. And we'll take a counter pose in between sides. So you can take the crocodile arms, crossing your forearms, or arms alongside you, full, complete surrender. Heart to earth, earth to heart. And rest, yogis, yoginis, rest. And lay down what you need to lay down. It might be worry. I think for a lot of us, there's an opportunity to let go of not knowing how we're going to make our bills, not knowing what we're going to do for living for the next while, like how that's all going to look and how it's going to pan out. And so whatever kind of worry or fears you have, be willing to lay it down. Just set it aside, just for even this pose. Can give your whole psyche a really awesome break. Doesn't mean you have to really fully let it go. Like, there's some actionable steps that need to be taken in order to care for yourself. But can you just lay it down for now? And now come into the other side, half frog on the left. So just slide your left knee up towards your left side. Yeah, it might come up real high and that might be comfortable, or maybe it's your knee is a little bit lower than your hip crease. And then you can choose to look to the right or to look to the left, to rest your cheek on the floor or on your forearms. But soften your back body. That's where your protection is. That's where we tend to be hard. That's where we tend to defend. It's where we protect. Consider you're safe right here. You're secure. You're in your home. And so just lay it down. Give yourself a break. Become keenly aware of your life-giving breath. On each inhale, let the light in. Whenever I feel like helpless or hopeless, I light a candle. Just shine the light. Now, slowly shift into your supine twist. So shift your body onto your right hip. And as this is a different way to get into the pose, you might kind of slide your shoulders out from underneath you so your back body is more grounded, and it doesn't have to be. One shoulder can be lifted. You'll get more of a twist too if both shoulders are more grounded, so know that. And the higher your knee is, the higher the twist will be. The lower your knee is, the lower the twist will be. Be awake here, awake and aware, yet deeply relaxed. Such a beautiful space to be in. Calm, yet fully alive. Open to life as it is. Meeting it newly in each each moment, especially in the moments where you're like, oh, I don't want this to be happening. Take your 2 kumbhaka breaths on your own timing. And invite yourself to linger in the void, the emptiness in between each breath. Just a little longer, perhaps. Take your time. And once you've completed your 2 conscious breaths, shift yourself into the sweetest pose there ever was. I'm going to call her Miss Shavasana tonight. Yeah, take your time exiting. So initially, Shavasana will be your counter pose, and then it will transform into your final pose. So you can, cover yourself up with a blanket. Grab your little kitty if you've got one, and snuggle her in close. You bring a pillow underneath your knees. Envelop yourself here. A blanket, to be blanketed, to be covered, to be held and supported. So important for us as humans. They have a really big impact on us to not be physically close to other people, especially if you are, you know, single, if you're alone in your house, not with others. It can have a really big impact on your soul and your spirit. So be mindful of that if that's present for you. Take this time to be here together, to be connecting from afar, so important for your health and well-being. Take one more cleansing breath before you sweetly surrender into this pose. I'm going to play a Shavasana song for you guys. I hope you all can hear it. I'll just rest your bones, rest your brain, and open your heart. Start to gently just become aware of your breath. No need to manipulate it in any way, but just become aware of your automatic life-giving breath. And now start to just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your head from side to side. And now shift your body into seedling pose. On the right for more energy, on the left for rest. One last quote I have for you from one of my favorite authors, Marianne Williamson. Chaos often fosters the greatest creativity. Breakdowns often precede the greatest breakthroughs. And when the pain is greatest is often when we're on the brink of the greatest realization. When the pain is burned through rather than numbed, when our darkness is brought to light and then forgiven, then and only then can we move on, and move on we do. Press yourself up into an easy seated position. And bring your hands together, unite your palms in front of your chest and your heart. Let's take a united breath together. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your prayer, your hands right up to your third eye. Touch in here. Give a little rub up and down. Take one more deep breath in together. Bow your head to your heart. Exhale. May all beings be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions in my own life in some way contribute to the happiness and freedom for all. Namaste, yogis. Nicely done. Give yourself a little yin applause. Yay. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. It's so good to see you, Tanner and Joyce and Lissa. I almost said Melissa. That's what your screen name says. Like, I don't know you as Melissa. I want to invite you guys to the 40 Days to Personal Revolution. It's a program starting on Tuesday. And the host is our sister studio, which is my home studio back in Bend, Oregon. And so what we do is a lot of yoga, meditation, inquiry, journaling, asking ourselves the questions we don't typically ask, and weekly meetings. So they're on Tuesday, starting this Tuesday, the 14th from 8 to 9:15. So there's Pacific time. So it's going to be Mountain time, 8 to 9:15. So 6 weeks, I'm going to be doing the course. It's totally free. You can sign up on our link in Instagram, or you can go to namaspa.com and sign up that way. I don't have it up on our website yet. So if you have any questions, let me know. I highly encourage you to take it. I have taken it like 10 so times, and I've led it 6 or 7 times. And it's really amazing program. It's going to be so cool to connect with people from the West Coast as well as here in Montana. So yeah, I invite you guys. It's something to set your sights on during this time versus all the other stuff. And it's an opportunity to really develop your yoga practice and start a meditation practice or deepen into if you've never meditated before. So with that, I thank you. You can unmute yourself if you want and say goodbye. And yeah, I love you ladies. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Suzy.
Thanks, Suzy.
Thank you so much, Joyce. Good to see you.
Thanks, Suzy.
Bye, Hannah.
Good night.
Bye, Lissa. Be well, girl.
Thank you so much.